The U.S. government partial shutdown is headed into the Christmas holiday and possibly into the new year. The stalemate over President Trump's southern border wall remains unresolved. At the same time, President Trump made another major cabinet change. CBS's Tom Hansen has the latest.
As the partial government shutdown enters day 3, Democrats and Republicans are trying to break the impasse over President Trump's border wall. Incoming acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney said he and Vice President Pence held discussions with Republican and Democratic Party leaders on Saturday.
The president's not going to not accept money for a border wall.
Mr. Trump continued to take his case to Twitter, writing, "The only way to stop drugs, gangs, human trafficking, criminal elements, and much else from coming into our country is with a wall or barrier."
We currently are only screening 1 out of 5 cars and trucks coming across our border. Let us dramatically increase the technology there in something called a Z portal. That's the kind of investment that Democrats want to see for real border security, not some medieval wall.
The president made some other news via Twitter this weekend, announcing he's naming Deputy Defense Chief Patrick Shanahan, a former Boeing executive, as acting defense secretary. The move pushes current Defense Secretary James Mattis out the door 2 months earlier than originally planned.
I think the president no longer relied on Mattis to be able to deliver the president's vision.
Secretary Mattis resigned last week after the president's decision to pull U.S. troops out of Syria. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
The National Park Service has implemented a plan for Yellowstone during the shutdown. Yellowstone National Park will remain open, but government-run operations and facilities will be closed. No one will work at the entrance stations. The road from the park's north entrance at Gardner through Mammoth Hot Springs to the northeast entrance at Cook City is open to wheeled vehicle travel. The park website and social media sites will not be maintained, and all administrative offices will be closed until the government reopens. Glacier National Park will be open and closed during the partial federal government shutdown. Park spokeswoman Lauren Alley says that roads and trails in Glacier will remain accessible, but emergency and rescue services will be limited. There will be no public information, restrooms, trash collection facilities, and roads maintenance. Plowing will be limited to areas that serve residential areas. And also in this morning's headlines, the death toll in a tsunami that hit Indonesia on Saturday has risen past 280, with more than 1,000 people injured and many missing. As the tsunami rolled in, this rock band was playing on a beach. The stage heaved forward and buckled under the force of the water. The group released a statement saying the bass player, guitarist, and road manager were killed and others missing. Now closer to home, Billings police respond to a report of a stolen vehicle, but this one was in the river. Officers were called to Colson Park just after 8 o'clock Sunday night. A pickup truck was found partially submerged in the Yellowstone River at the boat dock. No one was inside the truck. Police determined it was stolen and abandoned. 67 vehicle thefts have been reported to the Billings Police Department over the past 4 weeks. In lighter news, the Billings community is gearing up for Christmas, with American Legion baseball players giving out smiles at Billings Clinic. Ball players from the Billings Scarlets and the Billings Royals delivered toys for kids in the pediatric unit. The spontaneous Santa surprise left kids and parents with Christmas smiles. The teams have been working with the clinic for years to bring Christmas joy to children in the hospital.
There's a little girl that really kind of melted my heart. Just being able to give her a present during Christmas, it's just awesome. If she can't be home, it's really cool to be able to give her a Christmas present over here.
We didn't expect that at all. You know, it's been a tough weekend with him. You know, a parent shouldn't have to worry about their kid like that. No matter how big or little the gift is, just all that matters is the family around you, and just be grateful for what you have.
Laramie and Jackson, who you just saw, are expected to be out of the hospital soon and on their way back home. In other news, a growing number of retailers that made their names with online sales are now opening brick and mortar stores. It's a major shift in e-commerce. CBS's Kenneth Craig explains.
Dana Furrow likes to feel and see the clothes she's buying, so when her favorite online retailer opened a store in her local mall, it was the best of both worlds.
I love it because I'm typically an in-store shopper. I'm not as much of an online shopper.
Co-founded by Kate Hudson, Fabletics is a women's athleisure company that launched as an online-only retailer in 2013.
We are a Garden State Plaza, one of the top 10 malls in the United States.
Fabletics retail vice president Ron Harries says brick and mortar stores like this one in New Jersey were never part of the original plan. But when many traditional retailers started shutting down because of sagging sales, the company saw an opportunity to test the market, often with cheaper real estate.
We noticed immediately that it was a hit. We noticed very quickly that those who shopped online now had an outlet to do a return or exchange in store. That was a huge benefit.
An estimated 600 stores from companies that started online are up and running in the U.S. Mattress maker Casper is in the midst of a major storefront rollout. Online eyewear brand Warby Parker now has nearly 100 retail locations, and even e-commerce giant Amazon has opened bookstores.
It's a nice twist to the norm, and I think it's a much needed twist, keep the malls thriving.
At custom suit maker Indochino, Imran Shabir purchased a suit online, but ended up buying 2 more when he came into a location for alterations.
Millennials, they don't care. They order everything on the internet. But old school people like me, 90s styles, we want to go and touch product, right? So
it's a business model with growth potential. Fabletics has 25 locations and plans to eventually open 75 more. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Paramus, New Jersey.
And before we take a break, research shows almost half of all children are not getting enough sleep at night, which can lead to problems concentrating and retaining information learned at school. CBS's Hillary Lane has a look at an innovative program that's helping kids get the rest they need.
What do we need to brush our teeth?
It may be morning in this preschool classroom in Harlem.
Can you clean his hands?
But these 3-year-olds are preparing for bedtime with their teddy bears. This is part of a sleep program funded by the National Institutes of Health. The curriculum is being taught to 500 children at 22 Head Start preschools in New York.
The overall goal is to promote healthy sleep in early childhood.
Dr. Karen Bonnick at Einstein Montefiore is leading the program. She says 25 to 50% of children are not getting the at least 10 hours of sleep, including naps they need each day. Bonnick says by teaching the teddy bears the importance of preparing for and getting a good night's sleep, kids will model that behavior at home.
Children who are really overtired, they're not ready to learn, they're not able to get along well with others, they're just not able to absorb the information.
Parents are also given an orientation, learning techniques to help kids sleep better, like reading a book before bed to relax instead of watching TV or playing a computer game.
I didn't really know how important sleeping is until I took the class.
Patricia O'Shaughnessy's 3-year-old son is taking part in the program. She says he's now sticking to his 8 p.m. bedtime and sleeping longer and better alongside his teddy bear. Hillary Lane, CBS News, Harlem, New York.
The National Institutes of Health is looking to expand the sleep program to preschools across the country.